So again, good afternoon to everyone. This is our lesson number 5, and we're about to end our Binan Online Tutorials. So I decided for this afternoon to talk about the subject-verb agreement, since it's very important whenever we write either in prose or poetry setup. Just one moment to fix this. Okay, so today we will be talking about the subject-verb agreement. Okay, before we proceed with our discussion, what we normally do every meeting, we try to answer and identify some vocabulary terms. So before we proceed with our lesson, let me provide you some of the vocabulary we can learn for the day. So the first word is adversity. Even if your mic is off, you can say adversity. Adversity is a noun, which means a difficult or an unpleasant situation in life. So if you, instead of saying problem, you can replace the word problem with adversity, okay? So that's how you use adversity. So again, the word is adversity. When we use it in a sentence, a true friend supports you even in times of adversity. So that's the first word. The second word is called, the word is callous. Callous meaning not caring about the problems or suffering of other people. Walang pakialam sa paghihirap ng iba. Okay, meron ba kayong ganyan kilala? Yung parang even if you're in classroom and you are expressing sadness or deep sorrow, tapos meron ka mga classmate na manggugulo or mabubuli, not respecting your situation, and that's what we mean by callous. It's an adjective describing a person who is not careful of others' feeling and emotion. Okay, so when we use it in a sentence, yesterday, Donnie laughed at a child who had dropped his ice cream cone. He is a callous person. Okay? So the word is callous. Next word is affable. Okay? Affable is an adjective, which means pleasant, friendly, and easy to talk to. The word is pleasant, friendly, and easy to talk to. So it's an adjective describing a kind of person who is jolly, who is fun to be with, who is a light person. So opposite of callous is an affable person who would you want to go with or be with. So if you use it in a sentence, everyone on my soccer team is affable when a new person joins the team. Everyone welcomes him with open arms. So the word is affable. The next word in our list is morose. Right? Morose is very serious, unhappy, and quiet, and gloomy. So it's also an adjective opposite of an affable. So madalas natin sinasabi the morose are the persons na parang mga emo on the late 90s and early 2000s. Sila yung mga taong emo kung tawagin. Not because they're sad, pero it's just their personality. They're serious. Unhappy is subjective, pero these persons are quiet and they wanted to be alone. Okay, like when you use it in a sentence, he's been sitting in his room all day, looking morose. I hope everything is okay. So the word is morose. Next word. I love this word. This is apathy. Have you heard the word apathy? Kung ano ibig sabihin nito? Apathy is the feeling of not being interested in or enthusiastic about something. So what we mean by apathy is that you are not excited anymore. For example, a lot of people nowadays are apathetic or showing apathy because they're not interested to participate in discussions concerning our society, diba? Pag sabing apathy, wala nang pakailam or hindi ka na excited sa mga bagay na kinaka-excitan mo noon. So that's the meaning of apathy. Or minsan, it can also be defined na walang pakailam. Next is capricious. Okay? Capricious. It's also an adjective showing sudden changes in attitude or behavior, changing often and quickly, or a sudden change in emotion. Mabilis sa pagbabago ng emosyon. Okay? Capricious. Example, Fred is a capricious manager. One moment. Hold on. I will just... One moment, he is friendly and easy to work with, and then suddenly he is irritable. Sino po ito pumapasok na ito? Ayaw pang dumaretso. He is irritable. Ay, hold on. I will return. Irritable and easy to work with, and then suddenly he's irritable and difficult. So capricious is suddenly changing the behavior of a person. May pumapasok pa, and who is this? Okay, so the word is capricious. Next up. Asan na? May pumapasok kasi. Ang dami ng ano. Okay, so the next word is the word... Ano ba yan? Jesser. Nasaan ba si Jesser? Ang kulit. Ay, lumalabas sa aking screen kanina pa. So, Ari. Okay, Ari. This is pronounced as Ari. Ari is not in the intended manner, out of position, or wrong. Okay, so for example, when you use it in a sentence, I have been planning my vacation for months, so it should be perfect, but I still have a feeling that something will go away. Okay. So that's what we mean by something will go Ari pala, sorry, Ari, or something wrong. Okay, so Ari is an adjective describing that something might be happening in a wrong manner. Next word is meticulous. It's an adjective. Meticulous, meaning very careful about doing something. I know you're familiar with meticulous, paying careful attention to every detail. Okay, so a person or someone is meticulous when he or she is careful in doing something, or very concentrated with full attention on every details that he or she does. Example, in the lab, your work must be meticulous. You describe the event in meticulous detail. So that's what we mean by meticulous. And I think this is the last set of words. It's acumen. Acumen is a noun, or meaning the ability to think clearly and make good decisions quickly. Okay? So it's a person who can think fast with clear vision and make decisions well, immediately. So it could be a characteristic of a leader that you have to think clearly and make good and sound decisions quickly whenever it's needed. Example, she started the company last year and it is already making millions of dollars in profit, and she has great business acumen. So the word is acumen. The last word is bizarre. Okay? Bizarre is an adjective meaning very unusual or strange. Kakaiba. Okay? Or, oh yan, kakaiba nga, strange. So in a sentence, you could say, I had a bizarre dream last night. I was chasing floating numbers between strange houses. So that's what we mean by bizarre. Kakaiba, or something is not usual. So those are the vocabulary terms. Please take note of that, because next week, I mean, not next week, on Friday, okay? On Friday, we will have a very long test. That's the last test you will take for the Binan Online Tutorials. The test will be from our first lesson, the adjectives, on our second lesson, if you could still remember our lessons on adjectives and kinds of sentences, and then your features of poetry, and now subject-verb agreement. Okay. Moving on with our lesson for today, we will be talking about identifying subjects and verbs. Okay, I will ask you to go to this quiz. I will send it on the group chat so that you'll see it. Yan, nasa chat box na. Nakita niyo ba? Make a sign if you have seen it. You may click it and you may now start working on it. Your task in this activity is to identify the main subject and the main verb. Okay, I am looking for the main subject and the main verb. This will test if you understand what a main verb and a main subject is before we start with the subject-verb agreement. I'd like to know if you know what is a subject and what is a verb. Okay? So you may start working on, nakita niyo ba sa group chat? I send the link, click the link and answer it. Okay? Begin. You have 5 minutes to answer. Make a reaction if you're done, or you may chat on the chat box that you're done, if you're done. Okay, I think we're already done. Time is enough. I'm just having a hard time to connect with the file. Just give me just one moment. But let me ask you, what is a subject? Anyone who'd like to tell me what a subject is? I know you're already incoming high school or grade 9, but I'd like to hear it from you. Anyone who'd like to answer, what is a subject? Because before we analyze what subject-verb agreement is, we have to know, at alam dapat natin, how to identify a subject and a predicate or a verb. Okay, anyone? What is a subject or a verb? Any volunteer? How about, I'd like to hear it from Micah. What do you think is a subject? Ano ba yung subject? What does it mean?
The topic that we're
Oh,
talking about.
very good. So it's the topic that we're talking about in a sentence. Now, in our elementary days, it is clear when we were taught that subjects are the one that we are talking about. Okay? It's normally found at the beginning of a sentence. So pag sinabi nating subject, we have to learn how to identify the right subject and the main subject. Because unless we know what the main subject is, doon natin mabibigay yung tamang verb that will make the sentence grammatically correct. Okay? Now, a verb is the action being made by a subject. Now, let's go back to our discussion. I will just be checking on my... Oh, let's continue. Now, let's talk about the subject-verb agreement rules. Yes, we agreed in our discussion a while ago that a subject is what we're talking about in a sentence, while a verb is the action being done by a subject. Ulitin natin ha, yung subject yung gumagawa ng action, and therefore the verb is the one that is being done, or the action or described as something that is being done by a subject. Now, it is important that the subject agrees with the verb. Pag sinabi natin agrees, hindi naman pwedeng isa lang yung gumawa tapos yung output or yung action madami. Hindi naman multitasking yung tawag doon. But what we mean in this subject or in this topic is that in our structure of grammar or of our sentences, kailangan yung subject natin would agree to our verb. So let's identify the rules on the subject-verb agreement. The first rule is this: your subjects and verbs must agree in number. Okay? Your subjects and your verbs must agree in number. Let me ask you, how do we form the plural? There are two numbers of nouns or nouns and verbs. We have plural and singular, or singular and plural. How do we form the plural form of a noun? Any volunteer? How do we form the plural form of a noun? What do we do to make the noun plural? PB, do you know? How do we make a noun plural? Or paano nagiging plural ang isang noun? PB. How? By? Go ahead. Sorry, I think you are on mute. Okay, go ahead, yan.
Sir,
Go ahead,
can you
Phoebe.
repeat the answer?
Repeat the question.
Can you repeat the question?
How do we make the subject plural? Okay, or how do we know if the subject is in singular? Paano natin malalaman kung singular or plural ang subject? Sige, iwanan mo na kita, Phoebe. How about you, Jody? Do you know how do we make a subject plural?
Sir, to make a subject plural po, the verb must have no S in the end.
How about the subject?
There's S po in the
Okay.
end to make it plural.
Very good. Thank you for helping out. Let me just simplify it. What we mean by singular means one. Okay? Plural means more than one. Okay, remember that, ha? Singular meaning singular, single means one, while plural means more than one, or plural, plenty. Okay? So yun yung mga synonymous terms or root words sa pinanggalingan nito. Now, if you want to make your subject plural, you add S on it. Tama? Kunyari, you have flower. How do we make it plural? Add S, it becomes flowers. Others like, bottle. To make it plural, you make it battles. However, there are nouns that we are formed by changing its spelling, okay? Or by adding certain letters or words. For example, child. How do you make it a plural? By making or adding EN at the end, or REN to make it children. So that's how we do it. Live, the plural form, we replace F with VES, lives. Tama? Naintindihan ba ako? Or kailangan pa natin pag-aralan yung singular plural? Naintindihan naman natin. No? Allison, what is the plural form of the word wife?
Wives po.
Very good. Thank you. Jemima, what is the plural form of gentleman?
Gentlemen.
Ha?
Gentlemen.
It's gentlemen.
Gentlemen.
Tama. So man, plural is men. So woman, plural, woman. Man, singular, men, plural. So there are those instances. Now, for basic understanding, tama yung sinabi ni Jody that when a subject is plural, we add S. Pag plural yung subject, dinadagdagan natin ng S. Tama? Opposite to the verb, sa verb naman, we remove S to make it plural. Okay? Magkabaliktad sila. That's the common problem that a lot of students are committing. Ngayon, gawin nating math. Okay? Paano natin ito gagawing math? Hindi ko alam kung mahilig kayo sa math, pero ako hindi ako mahilig sa math. Kaya nga English ang kinuha ko major. Dahil hindi ako magaling sa math. Pero dito sa grammar, pwede din natin gamitan ng mathematics. Why? The formula for rule number 1 is plus S minus S or minus S plus S. Nakikita niyo ba? Ulitin ko para malinaw sa atin. So the formula would be plus S and minus S minus S plus S. This will be the two formula for the first rule. What does it mean? If your subject has an S in the end, you have to remove the S, minus S. You have to remove the S on your verb. This is just the basic rule. This is not true all the time, okay? If your subject doesn't have an S, kung walang S, minus S yung subject, then your verb must have an S. Malinaw? Let's show me an example. The dog growls when he is angry. Your subject there is dog, minus S, kasi wala siyang S. That's what we mean by minus S. Now, the verb, sabi sa formula, kung may minus S ka, kailangan lagyan mo ng S yung verb mo, plus S. That's why your verb has an S here, growls, or growls. Okay? If you will follow the other formula, plus S, your subject here, you have dogs. That's why it's a plus S formula. Then your verb, you should remove the S. Kaya minus S. Kaya, ayan, growl. Okay? So whenever you encounter that basic rule, you have to remember the plus S minus S formula and minus S plus S formula. But significantly, what we're trying to point out in here is that when you have a singular subject, you have a singular verb. If you have a plural subject, you have to have a plural verb. They must agree in number. Let us try answering the following. Let me remove all the annotations. Let's try answering the next one. I have here set of sentences where you will be asked to identify which is the correct form of the verb. So in number 1, my friends love running around the park. If we will follow the rule, your subject here is friends. Okay, malinaw yours. Bakit ayaw sumunod? Wait lang, ibababa ko kayo. Ayan. Our subject here in this sentence is friends. Since it has an S, then we will remove, okay? This is a plus S. So, kailangan yung verb mo, tanggalan natin ng S, minus S. That's why your answer here is love, okay? Because it doesn't have an S. Because the formula is plus S minus S. Do you get it? Now, this is not a comprehensive explanation, but it is more of visual representation, okay? Para mas maintindihan natin because we're all visual learners. Na pag nakita ka ng S sa subject, dapat yung verb mo, wala na siyang S. Okay? So that's the basic formula. That's why in number 2, John, singular siya, may S sa dulo, wala po. Minus S. So ano dapat yung verb niya? Merong S. Kaya ang tamang sagot ay talks. Okay? Another, the students fail to submit their task on time. Can you help me out in this item? Carl, can you answer this item? What's the answer?
Yes, sir.
Fails or fail?
Fail po.
Without an
Fail
F.
po.
Very good.
Fail.
Yes, right. So that's what we mean by the first rule. So your subject, singular, will take a singular verb. Plural subject will take a plural verb. Let's move on to rule number 2. If two subjects are joined by a conjunction end, they typically require a plural verb form. Or significantly, a compound subject takes a plural form of the verb. Okay? But there are exceptions to this rule. Medyo nakakalito itong rule na ito. There are two distinct differences. Number 1, if the two words or the compound words are different, magkaiba, okay, we're pertaining to two different entities. Therefore, we take a plural verb. For example, the cow and the pig are jumping. Your subject here is the cow and the pig. Since this is your subject, then ang rule, you have to take the plural verb. And your verb here is are. Anong singular ng are? Anong singular ng are? Is. Okay? But because you have cow and pig joined by a conjunction and, then we take the plural form of the verb. Yun yun. However, may ganitong rule. If the two words, sometimes we mention two words but we're speaking of one word. Okay? Minsan merong dalawang word tayo, we're using and, however, we're talking about one thing. Halimbawa, my mother and best friend, okay, is with me. Pansinin na ang ginamit kong verb ay is. Sir, why is? Sabi mo, mother and best friend. Because sometimes we use the conjunction and to point to one specific person. Kasi si mother, siya rin yung best friend mo. So ibig sabihin, you're only talking to one person. That's why you take the singular form of the verb. Okay? Halimbawa, my brother and enemy. Ibig sabihin, si brother, siya rin yung enemy. So ilang taong pinag-uusapan? Isa lang. That's why we take a singular verb. Sir, paano namin malalaman if the subject is pointing out one person only or two persons? Pansinin ang paggamit ng the. Okay? Sabi daw, if you have two introductory or article, the cow and the pig, meaning one cow, one pig. So therefore, you have to take a plural verb. Pero pag walang the, dun sa second word in the compound subject, halimbawa, my or the doctor and brother is. Okay? Walang the. Ibig sabihin, yung first statement or first info is the same as the second. Okay po? And the purpose of today's discussion, what we will only be catering is if you have a plural or a subject with the conjunction and, then your verb must be in plural form. Okay? Napakadali lang yan. Napakadali ng ibig sabihin. Next up are some, let me show you some examples. So I'd like to answer this one. Can you help us out to answer this? Q, would you like to answer number 1?
Mirna and her mother are attending the seminar.
Very good, are, because we're pertaining to Mirna and her mother. Very good. How about number 2? Denise, can you help me answer number 2?
My best friend and cousin is attending the seminar.
Why do you say that the answer is? Bakit is yung napili mo? Ano pa? Okay, sige. Let me help you. Sometimes we need to completely realize and define yung mga sentences. In this sentence, you see the word my best friend, singular, pertaining to one. This time you have cousins. Therefore, there are more than one person we're talking about here. Mahigit sa isa. Kasi pinlural mo tong cousins. Yung best friend, isa lang. Okay? So the answer is are. Okay, thank you. Nice try, Denise. We will continue trying that out. So that's the second rule. We're now moving on with the third rule. Okay, so the third rule is if one of the words each, every, or no comes before the subject, the verb is singular. Kapag daw yung word na tandaan nyo na each, every, and no is seen as the subject of the sentence, the verb is singular. Kunyari, no smoking or drinking is allowed. Okay? So, nagsimula siya sa no, kaya yung verb niya ay is. Next. Every man and woman, every, kahit na yan ay may end, di ba? Sabi natin, sir, kanina ang sabi, pagka may end, plural. Pero in this example, you see here that because the sentence starts with the word every, a pronoun every, your verb becomes a singular is. Kasi yung rule, if the sentence starts with every, each, and no, then your verb will be in singular. Kahit pa meron kang compound subject dyan na men and woman. Kasi sa sentence na ito, ang sinasabi, every man and woman. Every meaning one person. Isang tao, isang babae, isang lalaki. We're not talking about all, but we're only talking to every, isa-isa. Okay? That's why the verb to be used is singular. So tandaan niyo if you're using each, kunyari, each of my classmates is absent. Okay, singular palagi. Each, every, and no. Look at these examples. Jemima, can you answer number 1? Go ahead, Jemima. Ano nangyari, Jemima? Hindi kita marinig. Sige, Alison. Okay ka na, Jemima? Alison, try answering number 1. Jemima, ano si Jemima? Alison, number 2 ka. Ikaw muna, Jemima. Go ahead. Every member. Sige, Jemima, again.
Every member blank called to report on June.
Answer? Is or are?
Is.
Is. Very good. Number 2, Alison.
Is po.
Correct. Next, Alison.
Each brings their own materials.
Answer is brings. Very good. Therefore, in this example, you see, kagaya ng napag-usapan natin kanina, if the sentence starts with the word every and each, we take the singular form of the verb. And the singular answer here is, and here we have brings. Okay, so that's how easy rule number 3 is. So again, rule number 3, if you have every, each, and none, then you take the singular form of the verb. Let's now move on to rule number 4. Now, ito. Sa rule number 4. Tignan natin. In rule number 4, it says, if one subject is singular and the other is plural and the words are connected by the words or, nor, neither, nor, either, or not only, but also, use the verb form of the subject that is nearest to the verb. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin? When you have a subject that uses the word or, nor, either, either or, neither nor, not only but also, dahil dalawa yan, for example, either the bears, dalawa yung subject natin na, isa introduced by the word either, or the lion, introduced by this word or. Ang sabi, kung alin ang, di ba si bear, plural, si lion, singular. Ngayon, anong tense ang gagamitin ng verb? Sabi sa rule, nearest to the verb, which is nearest to the verb has. Lion or bears? Siyempre, lion. So if the lion is singular, then their verb here should be in singular. Kaya ang sagot natin ay has. Malinaw? Okay. In number 2, meron tayo dyan, neither the lion nor the bears. So meron kang lion uli na subject, meron ka din ditong subject na bears, dalawa. Ngayon ang tanong, anong verb ang gagamitin? Anong tense of the verb? Which is closer, lion or bears? Siyempre, bears is closer to the verb. That's why, if bears is plural, then your verb will have to be in the plural form. So yun lang yung ibig sabihin ng rule na ito. Okay po. Tingnan natin sa example na ito. Either Anna or Marlene recall the steps in creating. What could be the answer? Let's have Phoebe. Would you like to answer number 1? Either Anna or Marlene recall the steps in creating an account.
Recalls po, sir.
Very good, recalls, because the nouns are Anna and Marlene. They're both singular, so kahit anong mangyari dahil singular yung subject, we will take the singular word or verb recalls. Number 2, Micah. Again, number 2.
My friends are Carlo is or participate in the online classes are
Why are? Nasaan ang subject natin dyan? Where is your subject in the sentence? Dalawa, di ba? O, sige, nasaan?
my friends are
Friends and Carlo. Nasaan ang verb natin? Is or are. Alin ang mas malapit sa is or are? Si friends or si Carlo? Si Carlo, di ba? Mas malapit siya. Si Carlo ba ay singular o plural?
singular.
Singular. So ano dapat na verb niya? Singular, plural? Singular. So alin dito ang singular? Is or are? Okay, very good. So yun ang ibig sabihin ng rule number 4, which is closer to the verb, yun yung number na susundin natin. Okay. Last rule. Indefinite pronouns typically take singular verbs. Alam ba natin kung anong ibig sabihin ng indefinite pronouns? What we mean by indefinite pronouns are pronouns like everybody, anyone, someone. Yan yung may mga one and body. Anybody, somebody, anyone, someone. Those are what we call as indefinite pronouns. Malinaw, kaya siya tinawag na indefinite, we do not have the exact number or we do not have the exact gender. Kasi meron tayong iba't ibang uri ng pronouns, diba? Meron tayong feminine, masculine, pero ito indefinite because we don't know the gender, we don't know the number. Okay? However, according to the subject-verb agreement rule, if you have an indefinite pronoun as the subject of the sentence, yung verb mo ay laging singular. Okay, so example natin, everybody. This is an example of an indefinite pronoun, everybody. Okay? Dahil siya ay singular, dapat yung verb ay singular once. Again, if the verb has an S, ibig sabihin singular. Magka-opposite sila ng noun. Pag ang noun may S, plural. Pero pag ang verb may S, singular. Pag ang noun ay walang S, singular. Pag ang verb may S, doon siya nagiging singular. Okay? Next, somebody. This is also an example of an indefinite pronoun. So dapat ang verb daw natin ay singular. This is calls. Malinaw? Okay. So, let's try working on these examples. This time, I need the help of Carl answering number 1. Jody will answer number 2. Go ahead, Carl.
Everyone is our. Everyone is required to enroll in June.
Very good. The answer
Is.
Is. Very good. Because your subject, again, everyone singular, takes a singular verb is. Number 2. Jody?
Someone were waiting at the end of the line. Was po.
Very good. Was, again, takes a singular someone. It's an indefinite pronoun, takes a singular verb, was. Okay, very good. Now, let's try to see if you can apply it through this quiz. Okay? I will again send on our GC this quiz. Give me just one moment. Okay, I sent it to the chat box. In 5 minutes, I'd like you to answer that form, identify the correct sentence. You have two options. Which of the sentences follow the subject-verb agreement rules? Okay? Nakita na ba? If nakita nyo na, mag-sign kayo on your screen so that I'll know if you saw the link already. Can someone send it to the GC? Kasi I have no access with the GC because I'm downloading a file. Go ahead, you may now start. Again, make a reaction if you're done so that we'll know if we will moving on. I think we're all done. I will just be recording your scores in in that group. In that answering tool. Let me just go back to my slides. Okay, so on Wednesday, we will still be continuing our lesson on subject-verb agreement, focusing on some other on some other rules. Now, this is almost the end of our lesson. What I will ask you from you is that, number one, our last meeting is on Wednesday, and that's the end of the Binan Online Tutorials. You may inform your parents about it. Second, if you want to enroll on the third batch, you may enroll in other subjects this time. And then third, you will have to submit your vlogs on Saturday. And then last one, on Friday, we will have a long test. Okay. Now for your assignment today, which the deadline is tonight, then, you will go to, mali ata nalagay ko. That is one. But this is what you're gonna do. You're going to open your flipgrid. Okay, I ask you to download it. Kung hindi naman na-download, okay, this is how your flipgrid would look like if you are using your web or sa phone. Can someone tell me ano nakikita nila sa phone? Hinihingan kayo kagad ng class, tama? Tama ba? Meron na nakapag-download. What we're going to do is when you open your browser or your phone, hingan kayo ng flip code. Ang flip code natin ay BOT English Class. Okay? BOT English Class. Remember that. BOT English Class. That is our flip code. Pag-enter mo ng flip code, papasok ka dito sa ginawa kong flip class. Okay? At hahanapin mo itong cross na ito or add button and you will record an answer. Okay? You will record a video of yourself. Okay? Sir, ano pong ilalagay namin sa video? What you will write here is you will tell me why is it important that we study the subject-verb agreement. Okay? Construct, very short lang ito kasi hindi pwede na mahabang recording dito sa flipgrid. Tell me why is it important to study the subject-verb agreement. So that will be your assignment. Again, our class pin is BOT English Class. The deadline is until tonight. Okay, this will be part of our record system. If I remember it right, ang nag-submit lang ng video ay si Allison. Tama? Si Denise, ano ba yun? Si Denise pala, sorry. Si Denise lang ang nakita ko nag-submit ng record video. Tama? Nakita niyo ba? Nakita ng lahat? O, i-unmute ko na kayo, ha? Nakita niyo ba yung video ni Denise? And in that video, Denise talk about mood or tone, okay? Pag sinabi natin mood or tone, it's the feeling of the writer towards the material. Paano natin malalaman yung feeling ng writer? Depende din sa kinds of word na ginamit niya. Kung yung ginamit ng word ay positive or happy, then most probably the author is happy. Okay? So thank you for your time, for spending it this afternoon. I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon and your evening. Please get ready with your vlogs. We'll be watching your vlogs and be uploading it. At hayaan natin mapanood ng mga friends and classmates inyo in yung mga vlog. And that's it for today. Thank you for your time, everyone. I hope to see your flipgrid work. Thank you. Good evening. Bye, everyone.
Thank you po.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you po.